Alright guys, so I'm sitting at a Love's in Madison, Ohio. I delivered this morning at about 6:30 a.m. in York, PA. Yesterday on the way to York, I had pre-booked myself a load picking up out of Phillipsburg, going to Sagertown, PA. It was 140 miles deadhead, and then 155 loaded. I got that for like $300. I wanted to get over near Ohio. We're at, what time is it right now? We're almost 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and I haven't landed anything yet. I've bid on several, but I haven't landed anything yet. I just felt like my chances are better here, and I made money to come this way this time as opposed to just deadheading on my dime, because I just normally don't do nothing out of York, man. And of course, I get called from the broker today wanting to know if I was still in the area today. Usually, I just don't have that luck over there. Just for whatever reason, that's just not a good area for me. For others, it's not horrible. It's not a bad area. In general, there's a lot of longer loads. Well, why'd you say there's long loads and then there's very, very short loads. There's not very many like in-between loads, which are the ones I like. So when you get the short ones, you know, again, the short ones over on the East Coast over there, I just don't like them because it's usually taking you further into Jersey or up into New York or something crazy like that. Philadelphia, just taking you into the more congested, you know, crowded states, as far as cities rather. So I don't like those. So I tend to veer away from those. And then you have a lot of long runs that come out of that area, which those are just cheap. And for this time of week, as I said, I'm trying to be home by Thursday because of Christmas, so I'm not even interested in taking anything long. I mean, I haven't been interested in taking the long ones in general towards Texas and California anyhow, because they just don't pay worth a shit. And then they pay even less to come out of those areas. So I'm hopeful I'll still find something today. Preferably, I'd get something going to Chicago. Then Chicago's pretty easy to get back this direction. So then I get a couple, maybe 3 more loads by the time I go home. I'll take a Michigan, you know, obviously Wisconsin, Indiana. I'll take, you know, anything in that general vicinity right there. I don't want to go back east into Pennsylvania. I don't want to go south into Kentucky or Tennessee or anything. So like I said, I'm trying to stick to northern Illinois, Indiana, and then anywhere in Michigan, and then southern Wisconsin. So that's what I'm aiming for right now, because that's my sweet spot. That's my stuff. That's what I know. I know the rate's pretty good, and I just know how to keep it moving up in that direction. I couldn't believe the amount of snow they got over on the west side of Pennsylvania and east side of, you know, northeast side of Ohio, man. Like, I just went through just a little dusting last night, man. I started getting over this way. It was, I mean, just look at it out here. Look at all that. Shit's crazy. See that panther down there? Damn it. Maybe he's sleeping on his 5-hour required downtime after so many hours of driving, so maybe I ain't got to worry about him. There was a box van over there, but he just left a few minutes ago. You know what's funny is anytime you're sitting at a truck stop or places where there's a lot of vans, anytime you see him move, you're like, damn, that mother trucker got loaded, man. I'm still sitting here. Like, damn. You know, it's just, everybody does it. Everybody to an extent. Like, I mean, I don't get too pissy or anything like I used to about it. You know, I used to get a little frustrated when I first started doing this. Now, I mean, for all I know, the dude's going to the grocery store, dollar store, relocating. Doesn't mean he's getting a load. And plus, if he did, it doesn't affect me. I mean, because I'm going to bid what I'm going to bid, and I'm going to get whatever I'm going to get, regardless of what they're doing, right? It does. Now, don't get me wrong. That's not to say you shouldn't pay attention how many vans are in the area, because that does obviously directly affect your ability to, you know, win a load. Okay, so speaking of the number of vans, I did a video where I was touching on the amount of authorities, you know, motor carriers that have come into the industry, you know, specifically during the pandemic, how it's saturated everything so badly, and now with the economy so bad and the freight volume down, it's just made it to what it is. You know, it's created the situation that we've got. Well, the other day I was watching a video, and they was talking about that same thing. They was saying, I'm gonna put this up there. It said that during then, since 2021, 1,500 new net authorities per week were entering the trucking industry. That's the entire transportation industry in 2021 per week. Now, mind you, the majority of those, like I touched on before, those are one vehicle or maybe a handful. I mean, that's a very small number of fleet number these authorities are coming into effect with. So just remember, most of these are just individuals trying to make it with their authority, wanting more control, to do loads and whatnot, and they got the flawed thinking and thinking that just because you get your authority, you're going to make all this money. Like, you just open up the door or your doors to your trailer or whatever, and money just comes sucking right into that sumbitch. So, again, I'm being facetious about it, but that's what I think. Like, a lot of people were were misled to believe that it was such a lucrative thing, that all you need to do is get a vehicle, get your authority, everything else just takes care of itself. And so, again, that's what's helped create the situation, because you got a lot of people that were ill-equipped and ill-prepared and not enough understanding of how the industry works, and it's just caused a lot of issues throughout. You got a lot of new brokerages that came into the game as well. So, like I said, it's just a combination of all those things. But the point being, 1,500 new net authorities per week in 2021. This year, we have 460 per week that are leaving the industry, that are folding, that are going under. Now, to a degree, obviously that's helpful to the industry as a whole. It's unfortunate for the people that are failing, because I don't ever take any joy or pride in anything and anybody failing like that. I'd rather succeed because I'm better than to succeed because somebody else failed. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, I'm not sure exactly where I stopped off, but there's 460 authorities, / carriers. That's what those are. Are leaving the industry weekly right now in this calendar year. As I said, it's a needed thing for the industry to kind of try to right the ship a little bit. But what was interesting, and the reason I bring this up, because in that video they say at that pace, at that rate, if it continues to be 460 per week that we lose, it's still going to take 6 years to get to the previous the levels that we were previous to COVID and the influx of authorities. So to me, that was just crazy to think about that. Like 460, 900, what is that, like 1,840 per month going out of business, and it's going to take 6 years of that in order to get to the pre-pandemic level of carriers out there as far as capacity. Because again, if people don't understand, the volume of freight and capacity is the number of vehicles out there. Those are what determines, for the most part, it's what determines rates for the most part. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. As I said, I'm going to share the screenshot of this, which I don't know. I'm trying to look. Yeah, it's got the name of the TikTok channel down there. So if you guys are interested, you can go check out that TikTok channel and watch that video for yourself. I found it pretty interesting. Bottom line is, regardless of the absolute peak of carriers coming into the industry or them dropping off and it frees up a lot as far as volume increases, like whichever happens, you have to be able to adapt to it. You need to figure out how to make it work in order to get through it. Obviously, when things are going great, continue to run hard and try to prosper, try to get some savings and whatnot for the downtime, because that's one thing that's for sure about this industry as a whole, is there are ups and downs continually. It is not going to change. It has been that way as long as I can remember, because as I said, I grew up around trucking. My dad was a truck driver, and I seen the cycles then just like I do now. Unfortunately, the unfortunate side of things now is that rates aren't too much better than what they were 20, 30 years ago. So that's one issue that's going on with things right now. All right, guys, with that said, I'm going to jump off here because I want to get back on these load boards, see if I can find something, see if I can get another load for the end of the day and try to get in a good position for tomorrow. If not, if I don't get anything, I'm probably just going to go home and good chance to call it quits for the week, but I don't want to. I want to make a little bit more money so I can be a little bit more relaxed while I'm sitting at home. So, Wish me luck, and I'll holler at you guys later, man.
Your hustle got to be strong in this industry, as in any other industry.